him, wait on him, wait on him. Hit it!
All right, Rocket football fans, welcome to another season of the Gaige Courtney Rocket Football Coaches Show.
Yeah.
And we got a new set here, and we've got a guest here on the first show. We're going to do this every week. We're going to have someone different, and so Coach Barry gets the short straw on the first week. So
that's right.
Did you say, hey, you got first week, you got top billing?
That's right. That's
top
right. Yeah,
billing.
yeah.
Offensive coordinator Austin Barry, of course, a Rocket alumnus, and also played Murray State University. And he is how long you been back now, Austin?
On staff, offensive coordinator for 2 years, and been back on staff for 5. Is that right?
That's pretty close.
Yeah, you're a veteran at this point. Then.
Yeah.
No, I'm learning every day.
That OC's tough job, isn't it?
Very tough.
Yeah.
Very tough.
Well, we're excited about getting going with Rocket football again here in 2022. And again, we want to thank our corporate sponsor, Mark Williams of Whitetail Properties. Here, he's our agent and broker here in Marion, Kentucky, and serves all of pretty much all of West Kentucky and Southern Illinois. And we will even talk to you also later in the segment here about some of our other sponsors for the Coaches Show. We appreciate all that they do for allowing us to get with these guys every week and hear about Rocket football. And we will bring on players this year as well. So we'll just tip this off right here, kick it off, I guess, if you will. Not tip it off, we're kicking off.
Yeah, it's kickoff.
And first of all, let's talk just a little bit about your depth chart and about the roster this year, and we'll just go. Tell you what we'll do. We'll start since Coach Barry is kind of the guest. This week. We'll start with the offense, and it all starts at quarterback and center, right? So we'll just go from the middle of the field out.
Okay, we'll start at quarterback. Starting this year will be Micah Newcombe. Real excited about what he's going to bring to the table this year. Looked pretty good in the preseason. Doing a really good job taking care of the ball. That was my big thing this year is want to limit turnovers. That's where we really struggled last year, and he's done a great job taking care of the football. Then up front, starting at center, will be Hurst Minyard. Hurst got hurt last year, so he missed out on a lot of JV reps. But he's done a really good job this year, I thought. And then the tackles, 2 names that have been around for a while, Zach Counts and Deacon. Those are kind of the anchors. Deacon Hallman, yes. Anchor on our offensive line. Those guys have been starters at some point ever since their sophomore years, and look for them to kind of lead us up front. And then at the guards, you'll have Grayson James and Travis Wazina, both juniors, guys that play extremely hard all the time, physical guys, tough. I think that was a question mark coming in was our offensive line. I think we kind of had a little rough patch there in the first scrimmage. I think we've made a lot of improvements and are really good there. Kind of our swing guys, backups, but could be starters any week. You've got Lane West, who's a junior that's came out.
Pretty good too.
Lane West looks really good. I'm really excited to have him. I'm glad he came out. He's a junior, hasn't played since middle school, I believe, but done a really good job. And then Austin Witt is also a junior. Pulling guard, he's fast, he can be physical. I'm excited about him too. He can get more reps in there.
Big question mark, I think, coming into the season was how you were going to be up front. Lost a good bit up there. Some guys that had been 3 and 4 year starters, and you look pretty good up there. Depth wise, maybe a little tenuous.
Yeah, you'd like to have 8 or 9 going in because down there's such a physical game in the trenches. Like they're going to get banged up a little bit, but we've got a couple guys. Braden Bransassy's a freshman that we're kind of excited about, maybe getting him in there a little bit. But hopefully our depth doesn't get us. I'd like to be about 8 deep, like I said, but we're at set. Feel pretty good about 7 right now.
And you say Brent Sassy's at 7 or 8. Where's he at?
He's at 8. He'll be the 8th. Yep.
He's a kid I've heard a lot about through Little League and through middle school. Heard his name come up a lot. and not just how do you spell it either.
Yeah.
You know,
I still haven't got that right yet.
It's a tough one. That's one I'll have to write on my keyboard up here. You know, make sure I remember that. So, but you got a lot of skill guys back. Talk about those fellas.
So many skill guys. I thought last year we lost a lot of skill guys, and I thought it would be a little bit clearer. And these guys have worked really hard in the offseason. It's not any more clear than it was last year. Our ex receiver, you've got Gabe Keller, Casey Cates, and Caden Howard, all three fighting for reps at that spot. All three of those guys bring something different to the table, but they're all hard. Every one of them's a hard worker, so it's kind of a toss-up who's having the better day, who's got the hot hand on who's going to play. So it's really good competition-wise in practice. You know, you're going to get the best out of those guys every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then at our H spot, so that's kind of our specialty spot, a guy that can go in the backfield or maybe be a fullback. Rowan, Perkins, and Tyler Bell are kind of our guys that can go out there and get handoffs and stuff. And then you got Bradley Berry, who will go in there and be a fullback type guy when we really want to get heavy and run the ball. At our Y spot, that's kind of our sometimes our tight end. You've got Case Gobin, and then you've got Preston Morrison there too to put in the slot. That's a change for him. He had normally played out wide, and we thought moving him inside the slot would be an easy way to get him the ball a little bit more. And then Z receiver on the outside there, you've got Caleb Nesbitt, another name that you've heard forever. He's always made plays. Super excited to have him back for another year. And then you got Evan Belt, who's another guy that's came out for his senior year, kind of like we've had Ben Dobbins and Tanner Beverly and Hayden Adamson, another one of these guys that you wish you had all 4 years, but I'm glad he came out. I think he might give us something a little bit down the road once he gets comfortable.
And Caden Howard.
Yeah.
Did you mention?
Yeah,
him?
he's at our X spot.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
At X. I'm real excited about him. Real excited.
Yeah, gosh, he's long. He's got a pretty good pedigree too, right?
Yeah, I guess he'll be all right. Maybe we'll find out.
Of course, that's Coach Courtney's nephew, and gosh, he's shot up. He's a big, tall, long kid. But I tell you, Nesbitt just really looks. He looks like his brother, who obviously was Player of the Year in the district, and went on went to college, played football.
Yeah, Caleb's such a great kid. That's the thing about Caleb. He's not the flashiest guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes when he scores a touchdown, he's never going to celebrate anything like that. But he always does his job, knows what he's supposed to be doing, and he always makes the play he's supposed to make.
My brother would celebrate just a little.
Yeah. But Caleb doesn't. He does. He never celebrates. So it's funny. Like, he makes plays all the time, and you'd never know it just watching him. Just always calm, cool, and collected.
Well, with Caleb Nesbitt and Preston Morrison and Case Gobin with his size and length, and then those other guys, Rowan Perkins with his speed, and then you got Tyler Bell, and just go Caden Howard, and the Kellers coming on, Casey Cates, and boy, what a mismatch you can create.
Yeah.
You know, you got two home run hitters right there with Morrison and Nesbitt.
Yeah.
Get them the ball deep. And I know Micah is maybe not he's not going to stretch you real deep right now with his arm strength, but still, he can still throw it 35 yards.
Yeah, it makes it tough. You got all those guys, and we only play with one football. So you're like
It's
trying to get all these guys touches.
that's
It's a
your-
nightmare.
yeah.
It's insane.
Keeping everyone happy.
Yes.
Happy. And keeping daddies happy, too.
Well, yeah, and you need to get these guys the ball because they can make plays, but
Absolutely.
sometimes it's hard. It's
Because
tough.
they're only 40 plays in a game, if that.
Yeah, we might
35, 40 plays.
Yeah, we might get 60 sometimes. That's playing super fast, but
Right.
not many more than that.
Yeah. You don't realize that until you start breaking down a film, do you?
Yeah.
It's not very many plays. No wonder I can't get so-and-so the ball.
Exactly.
You know? So, well, it's a good start on an offense anyway, and it put up some big numbers against Callaway County last week in the scrimmage, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But first of all, let's go on the other side of football with Coach Courtney, and he's the defensive man. What you got back there, Coach?
We're starting on the D-line. We bring back two familiar faces with Case Gobin at the end and Sammy Impastato at nose. Obviously, they've both been very good for us last year and even before that. So we expect big things out of both of them too. You'll be hearing them all year long. That other end position down there, it's kind of a swing guy. Right now we're going with Grayson James. He did a great job. It's just staying fresh. We're not quite as deep as you talked about offensive line. And defensive line, kind of the same thing. So we just got to stay fresh down there. You'll see Deacon Hallman down there a lot. You'll see Zach Counts down there. You'll see Travis Pizzina rotating in. Possibly Lane West and Keelan Gobin as well, which Keelan Gobin is a kid that just moved here this year, and we're excited about him, only a sophomore. He's looked really well. Once he figures it out, he gives us another athletic guy. When you think of defensive line, I really like a lot of speed and athleticism down there, and he gives us one of those.
He came over from Henderson County.
Henderson County, yep. Not really played much football before, but you wouldn't know that really watching him. He's picking up really fast, a really good kid we're excited about. Yeah. So, and then linebackers, I like to have 4, and we basically 4 guys that can start at any time in the 3 spots. But Briley Berry, quarterback for our defense, he's going to be a beast. He's put in all the work. He's looked good in the scrimmages. He's just confidence, I think. He's got all that muscle, and he's done it before. I just expect for him to have a breakout year, absolutely breakout year. And then you got Bennett McDaniel, who'll start at Sam, who's another one that's put on a lot of muscle I've talked about before that's I expect also to have a good year. And over there at the Willie position, on the weak side, we got Gatton Travis and Levi Piper, which all of them can play any position. It's kind of all universal. But those will be the 4 guys you see, and both of them, will be great for us. And both of them will be starting this week for us. We have a little injuries going on at the linebacker position. So both of them guys will be starting, and both of them look really good. So I really believe if our linebackers can stay healthy, then we have – kind of like you talked about the offensive line, that's our place where we really need to stay healthy as linebacker. At the invert positions or down safeties, you got Caleb Nesbitt and Seth Guest, 2 familiar names. Both were the starters last year. So it's nice to have a whole group, even if it's just 2 positions, to bring them back. You just kind of plug and play. Y'all got it. They all know nothing's changed. We're on the same defense. Everything's exactly the same. So it's nice to have those 2 guys, and they'll continue to make plays as they have in the past. Caden Howard will be our swing man there. I like to have 3. He'll play some at that safety position. They're all 3 nice because they all 3 can play down and physical in the run. They all 3 can be back as true safeties and roll around and intercept the ball. They all 3 get after it. So I expect good things out of that position group. In the secondary, we got Preston Morrison, who's a familiar name. He'll be at corner and free safety. We'll move him around. He's kind of our guy back there. So we just whatever position we feel like we need to put him in to help the team, he'll play. Then you got Tyler Belt, who will start at free safety. Obviously, Tyler's a really good player. Just got hurt last year, or you would have heard a lot about him last year. And he's really, I thought, last week in the scrimmage that he looked a lot more confident. I think he's been fine, but he broke a few tackles. Then I see him going on defense. I see him today at practice. Just looks a lot different. And it's just in his mind confidence. I expect him to have a really good year.
Tough injury to come back from.
Yes, it
like
is.
That.
Yes, it is. And I think he's there mentally. At the corner, we got Gabe Keller and Rowan Perkins, both out there right now, which like the linebackers in all our positions, we like to play a lot of guys, so they'll rotate in. I don't get so caught up in starters. I know that other kids want to start and stuff, but we want to play as many guys as we can. Different games, different guys give us more things than others, so it might be a game where we really need to stop the pass or really need a more physical guy in this position or whatever it is. It could change who's starting, but both of those 2 guys have really came along and expect to be pretty solid. Feel really good about the defense overall. Like I said, we just got to stay healthy, but we got plenty of guys, especially in athletic positions, that can play. So feel pretty good about it so far.
Kalamu.
Kakoa, yeah, Kakoa can play free safety and corner, yeah, and he can also help as receiver. He made some big plays out at receiver, catching some screens the other day, and he's pretty sneaky athletic.
I think he is too.
Yeah, he can kind of do whatever you want him to do. Really,
it didn't take me too long out there. I said, "Hey, what's your name?"
Yeah,
because
right.
And he told me, and I said, "Well, I can't say that anyway." I said, "How long have you been around here?" He said, "Oh, 2 years." I said, he just came on my radar.
Yeah, he's kind of a late bloomer a little bit. I had him in PE class last year, and I'm like, man, this kid's really starting to change. Like, gotten bigger athletically, just moving around really well.
He's going to be on a lot of radars.
Yeah, I think so. I think he can play.
And
Evan Belt's another one that Coach mentioned that I forgot that'll be rotating in at DB that I think will give us something. Like he said, he's just learning the game, but once he gets it, then I think he'll be really good.
Yeah. So I want to, as I mentioned earlier, talk a little bit about some of our partners in providing the coaches show for you. Of course, Whitetail Properties broker agent Mark Williams. You can find your middle of nowhere with him. He sells farms and dabbles in homes a little bit. Mostly it's hunting type properties and farms. So we appreciate Mark Williams being always our corporate sponsor for the program. And also Seaplant Federal Credit Union, financial cooperative with offices on Main Street in Marion. Colonel Ag, the Colonel boys, Crittenden County boys there. Call Corey or Blake Colonel for all your farm machinery repair. And this time of year, that's starting to happen. Farmers Bank and Trust with 10 locations in Marion, Kentucky, and always a partner of Farmers Bank. Guys, the last couple of weeks we've got a snapshot of this team. We've saw maybe the good, the bad, and the ugly, hadn't we?
In a lot of ways.
A lot of ways. I know you weren't real pleased with the performance nor the attitude after the first week, and I assume you got their attention because everything seemed to be on track. This past week against Galloway County.
Yeah.
I noticed some elbows were a little bloody. Maybe some of the kids. What happened at practice that week?
Well, we just had to. I don't know, send a message, I guess, to them. The thing that bothered me wasn't our play. This team is really good players, and we can play football. We're just doing things the wrong way, just not necessarily being good teammates and not respecting each other, coaches, the game, Rocket football and tradition and what it stands for, the way that we should. And I think it got worked out on Monday, and it's been a completely different. And the kids have been great, much better leadership, much better attitudes. Everything, has come around. The thing is, and the truth is, they were bad, and I didn't like attitudes and things, but it all came from a good place. They're all wanting to win, and they're mad that things aren't going well and they're winning, and we just didn't know how to handle that. And that's the thing. It's coming from a good place. It's not like they're bad kids. We're a bad team or anything like that. It's just they got to learn how to put that energy, something positive to the team. When things aren't going good, who are the guys going to step out, not call someone else out? We got all these guys that are the guys, right? They're all supposed to be great.
Right.
So when things go bad, they got to put that on themselves to go make plays and not start putting it on other people. And like I said, it was bad for that week, and it's been fixed, I think. Everything's been good since. So
channel that energy to the guy in the other color uniform.
Right. That's what I told them. We got enough adversity coming on this schedule. Y'all want adversity, it's coming. We can't have it with each other.
Yeah.
So,
as tough a schedule as I ever remember seeing. But, again, back to the Callaway game, the offense was just clicking on all cylinders, really. You didn't show everything you got, obviously, but the ball got into several guys' hands. I think we have 4 or 5 different guys who scored.
Probably, yeah.
So, and the defense shut them out, just pitched a shutout on them. And the JV kids look good.
Yeah, we did.
And what about little Jit?
Yeah. Cameron
Belcher. I guess he's your 13 quarterback.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, and he's a good receiver in the slot too.
Athletic.
And
he's gotten
he's
bigger.
a great athlete. Yes, Cameron's a good ball player.
Want to touch again on some of our partners. Frazier Law Firm. See Bart Frazier and his staff for all your legal needs. Riley Tool and Machine. We know Todd Riley. He's the voice of the Rockets. Does a super job, too. He and Vicky both up there.
Yeah.
Of course, Vicky Carlson plays the music. I kind of get a little high step going sometime with Vicky's music. H&H Home and Hardware. You can buy online and pick up in the store everything you need for all your special projects. And the Heritage at Marion Country Club featuring golf, bingo, billiards, Mulligan's Restaurant right there. It's all in one place. You can go out after the ball game, or I think they even show the ball game when it's broadcast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Any platform. So talk just a little bit about your special teams. You've, as we always say, a lot of times games come down to what happens on special teams. So
yeah, it can. Obviously, a lot of people play roles into those, but the punter and kicker and even our returner is Preston Morrison, the first person that comes to mind when you talk about special teams. There'll be other guys. Caleb Nesbitt will return kicks. Rowan Perkins will return kicks. There'll be several others. Basically, all those receivers he talked about can potentially be returning kicks. We got a lot of guys that we think could do that. And punting as well, you could see Micah Newcombe punting some. You could see Riley Berry punting some. Everything's not necessarily got to be a one-man show. Preston Morrison, he just does everything so well. It's hard. And anytime the ball's in his hands in any form or on his foot, I guess, good things are usually happening. So it's good to have him there. But I think it's also good for him and for the team to have other people. It doesn't have to necessarily be that way. We'll have other guys kind of take some pressure off of him. It doesn't have to be that way. We got a lot of guys that can give us something on special teams.
You've got that quarterback that can punt. You can be a little sneaky with it.
Right, yeah.
You punt on second down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody really expects.
Yeah, I hope not.
So Your backup kicker, though, a point of concern is Bennett McDaniel, and he's hurt right now. He's one you mentioned, one of your linebackers, and Bennett really has worked hard, got his body ready to play, and bless his heart, his back problems. I saw him last night. He sounds like he's on
I think they're taking a lot of steps to get him treated, and expect for him to be back in a couple of weeks. It's nothing like season ending or anything, but obviously it's disappointing to him, all that work that he's put in and stuff. But he's going to be just fine. Just got to get through this little patch. But it does cause some depth issues at linebacker, at special teams as well, and not just kicking, everywhere. He was on every special teams before he went off, so it is a depth thing that you start to run into when players get hurt or sick, and we've had a few things go on. So our kicking game, especially field goal kicking, has been our most inconsistent special teams, without a doubt. And it was much better. We had a couple blocked the other day, but we can fix that. It's been the ball going through the uprights, that's been the issue. And those look pretty good, actually, the timing. But we just got to fix a few things on that field goal team. But hopefully optimistic that those things have been fixed as well. But the truth is we don't have a lot of depth at kicker. Yeah. Once if something was to happen, we need a backup kicker. It'd probably be Counseling there giving it the big boot.
Oh, straight in. Yeah. Flat toe shoe.
Yeah, we'll try to get him the old school strap to pick his toe up. And that's probably where we'd be at.
Well, this week you have you're going to open your season at Murray High. Not an easy out down there for sure. Murray High, of course, a 2A team, just traditional perennial contender in 2A, certainly in West Kentucky and this part of just this half of the state. They're not, just from what I understand on paper, not quite what they have been maybe the last couple of years, lost a lot, but they're a good football team. Talk about what they do. You've been watching their offense. We'll let Coach Berry tell us about what he's seen on defense, because I'm sure he's breaking it down. But they run kind of run some veer and some wing T looking stuff.
Yeah, it's it's a mixed option offense. I don't think that they're necessarily going to give you many plays, but they're going to be really good at what they do. And then the option offense is going to come down to you being disciplined, especially kind of make you pick the wrong one or stop doing your job. Whoever has quarterback's got to stay on quarterback. Whoever has pitch has to be on pitch. And when things start going bad in that option offense, that's when things really go bad, because then people will start not doing their job. So the focus on them is just being about do your job. No matter what happens, if you have quarterback, you have quarterback. If you have dive, you have dive. Whatever it is, that's going to be the big key for us defensively, is just staying disciplined. They're also physical, if there's a number two. They're down in 4-point stances in the offensive line. You don't see that a lot. Coming out low and hard, cut a lot, even from the backfield. A lot of guys that are cutting, they just come after you and they get after it and they play hard. And got some good athletes. I believe the number 8 player, that Xavier Biggers in the West Kentucky Pro. Right. So got a lot of speed out there. When he gets the ball in space, it can be a big problem. The fullback, I can never say their names right, but the quarterback, it was Rowdy. His brother, the one that's been the quarterback there for a long time. He graduated, but his brother's still there, and his brother's been the fullback for a long time as well. So, or been playing the fullback last year since they went to this offense. So he's a load to bring down, big, strong runner as well. So, yeah, offensively for them, they're very good. Scheme-wise, very good, and then also have some very good players to go with it. This coach that come from Union, Tennessee, got a lot of state championships, has had a whole lot of success running this, and you can see why when you watch on film. It's going to be tough to stop. Honestly, first game coming out, it's a nightmare. Really, magic. Sure. What you want to. You'd like to see the spread or the eye or something that you're pretty familiar with coming out on this. So we got our hands full. There's no doubt about that.
And Ty Holland Stadium is a tough place to play. The stands are right on you. The home stands.
I think it'll be a good atmosphere. I like that kind of atmosphere. Yeah, it's tough, but what that really means, it's going to be loud, exciting, and tough is good. It's not going to be
play the bell on third.
Right.
I like it. They always have a good announcer. Yep. Not quite as good as Todd Riley, but they always have a good one.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think that it'll be a good atmosphere. First one coming out. I think a lot of people will be excited. So.
Yeah. Again, I want to tell you how much we appreciate our sponsors for the Coaches Show. Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, one of our trusted sponsors on all these platforms that we provide you this type of coverage. And at Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, you shop locally, for your appliances, your furniture. It's a locally family-owned business. So stop by Johnson's here on Main Street, right next to 5 Star. The old folks know it as Y'all's.
That's right.
Do you remember when it was Y'all's?
Yep.
Full Body Fitness Studio, trainer Serena Dickerson. We all know Serena. She keeps our Rockets in shape.
That's
doesn't
right.
she?
That's right.
She
does a
keeps
lot for the
everybody in
program.
shape.
Yeah.
She does a lot for the community.
Yeah.
She sure does. We appreciate Serena Dickerson. She's doing the bottled water stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how she does it.
She's an organizer. Clark's Marion True Value, under new ownership out there, the Clarks, and it's your full service lumber, hardware, and steel dealer. That's where I got the steel chainsaw you were asking about back here in the back. La Delicia Restaurant, it's open 7 days a week. That's out in Darwin Plaza and Deer Lakes Golf Course. We know where that's at, down in Salem. Rick Hughes, one of the biggest Rocket fans around now, and he runs the 18-hole golf course. Go to down in Salem, go down and see about getting a tee time. Guys, back to Murray. Austin, what are you seeing out of their defense as you plan to attack it and take advantage of some things?
They'll be really physical in the box. They've got a couple really big defensive tackles, so they'll sit there and try to plug gaps with those big guys, and then their linebackers are extremely aggressive and fly downhill and try to fill those gaps and try to hit you. Real physical in the run, I feel like. You'll see a couple different coverages. They're so skilled in the back end. They've got speed for days back there. They've got the Biggers kid that Coach Courtney talked about, the number 7 player in West Kentucky. They put him out at corner, try to take away one whole side of the field from you. And then they've got another safety. He's number 7. His name's escaping me right now, but real rangy, long, fast kid that's a heck of a player. He might be their best player on defense. And then another corner on the other side, number 13, that's fast too. Just going to come out. I don't want to give too much away. Just come out and do our stuff. I don't want to get too crazy. I think that was my big problem last year. We struggled. I tried to do too much, tried to be too smart, be the last guy with the marker on the board and draw up these schemes that were so great. But at the end of the day, if the kids can't execute it, then it's no good. And that's kind of the approach we're going to take, is try to be simple and our guys be confident in what we're doing and just go out and be us.
Well, Murray's, as I said, a traditional, I would call them a powerhouse team of West Kentucky. There's no question. They're always just like you described it. They're always big and physical up front, and they got speed in the back. Yep. And when you've got that,
creates a pretty good football team.
Creates a really good football team, doesn't it? So last year they were 8-3, and probably would have gone much farther in the playoffs had it not been for Mr. Mayfield. Yeah, Mayfield knocks a lot of good teams out.
Right, and they split with Mayfield, so that tells you something. They got Mayfield once last year.
Right.
Anytime somebody's beating Mayfield, you know what type of program that is. That's a tough task.
That's right. And I think Austin and I were talking a little bit before. A lot of the teams I think in West Kentucky are down. Murray, I think. Is one of those teams that probably hadn't slipped much at all. Mayfield's going to be really good. Tillman's going to be really good. Yeah. Beyond that, I'm not sure about the rest of them.
Union going to be good.
Union's going to be real good this year too. And of course, it seems like everybody that's any good coach, we got them on our schedule.
That's right.
Even in 2 states.
Yeah.
And Louisville.
You know our philosophy.
Yeah, we want to get out there and play the toughest team we can find. So we're going to go down to Tennessee. A lot of people don't know about this team.
Me either.
At Liberty. What's it? Liberty Creek. Liberty Creek. And that's a brand new school. Yeah. But it's in a county that is known for its football. Yeah. So there are going to be some kids maybe that are on the fringes of other schools that want to come into this new school. I think you can kind of just go around, pick your school type thing. But I anticipate they will be very good, and I hear it's probably one of the nicest complexes in America.
So that's the things I hear the most, how nice the facilities are. And you know how kids are, and anybody, something's nice, that's going to draw the kids are going to love that. So eventually I think that's probably going to be a very good football school, if I had to guess. I don't know if it'll be this year. I don't know. That's what I keep hearing. They may be really good right out of the gate. I don't know how all that works down there. I've heard both, but I've heard great things about their facilities.
I think they have a good coach. They recruited a good coach
from
there.
a very good school, defense coordinator.
Brian O'Neill, who was a quarterback here back years ago, played baseball and football here. Brian is a teacher in that school district, not at that school, but I talked to him a little bit, and he kind of reiterated some of the things we've talked about. Look, I would say they're going to be a good football team for sure. Of course, Louisville to Sales, always a good football team. You got them on the schedule. Tell us how we ended up with that game.
Well, we had a scheduled team with the team out of Baltimore, Maryland, which sounded crazy, but there's things. You sign a contract, and then they're kind of obligated to play or pay you if they don't fulfill that. So when they were willing to sign the contract, and we were like, okay, they're going to come. But it ended up not working out that way. Their coach was set on trying to get their kids out of their specific area and play all their games away and just show them something, travel a lot. And I guess they had the funds to do that, or at least he felt that they did. But then they got rid of that coach, and that game kind of fell apart. And that's when things kind of got –
Wasn't because they found out we were out of water.
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure that we knew that yet. But and then we're just stuck with 9 games again. Us, who was it? Hazard or somebody far as the furthest you can go on East Kentucky team. Us and them were the only 2 out of the games. Finally, DeSales gets out of a game that they wanted out of, and that were able to pick us up. It's still a far game, but to have DeSales has been a freaking powerhouse. I mean, an absolute powerhouse at one time. I mean, I know that they've slid a little bit back, but for them to come down here, it was an opportunity we couldn't pass up. So, and it gives us – we only have 4 home games again. So we were down to 3 home games. So anybody that's willing to come to Rocket Stadium and play on a Friday night, we were going to say
they got a ticket.
We were going to say come on.
Well, hey, we appreciate our sponsors: Whitetail Properties, C Plant, Federal Credit Union, Colonel Ag, Farmers Bank and Trust, Frazier Law Firm, Riley Tool Machine, H&H Home and Hardware, Heritage at Marion Country Club, the golf course out there, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, Serena Dickerson at Full Body Fitness Studio, Clark's Marion True Value, La Delicia Restaurant, and Deer Lakes Golf Course. Guys, we're out of time. We're over time, actually, just a bit, but that's all right. This is the first show. It goes by in a hurry.
Yeah, it does.
And we're excited to get this season kicked off and looking forward to year 2, the Gaige Courtney era. and Coach Barry is what fit? Is your 6th year then? Is that right? 6th year back at? I think you said you've been here 5, and all your staff are Rockets except for one.
We finally got an odd duck.
Brought in an odd duck this year.
We finally did.
Rylan Thomas, but he tells me he's got a couple of rings. I don't know if y'all heard anything about that.
He got one.
He got one.
Yeah,
Okay.
played in 2 state championships. Played quarterback for Franklin Simpson. Went to 2 back-to-back state championships. First Johnson Central and won 1. He's been great for us. Been really excited. Young kid, a lot of energy.
Kids like him.
Yeah. He comes around and he just get out there. And some guys will kind of stand back, and they're new. I was like that when I first. Not him. He comes right out and starts coaching what he knows right away. And that's what you want. Just somebody that'll go out there, be there all the time, coach, pour into the kids, and he's done that. I think he's going to be a great coach.
Yeah,
absolutely great. We're excited to have him.
Yeah, I think so too.
We wouldn't just bring anybody in. Just know. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Somebody out. So that's something for him. That's
what
what I told him when he got the job. I'm
Yeah.
like, we ain't had a coach out for a while, and he fits
right
and beyond.
in.
Yep, he fits right in.
Yeah,
And he carried us in the golf scramble, so we didn't get last place because of him. He can play a little golf.
Yeah, that's always handy.
Yeah, I guess
You
it's
get
not
him
me.
and Coach Starnes together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Coach Courtney and Coach Barry, good luck Friday night down at Murray, and 7 o'clock kickoff down there. And we appreciate Mark Williams and Whitetail Properties for being our corporate sponsor for the Gaige Courtney Coaches Show. We'll see you Friday night. And if we better not miss you Friday night, but if we do, we'll see you here on the Coaches Show next Thursday.
Hey, get your tickets on GoFan.
Oh yeah,
get your tickets on GoFan.
Go if you're going to the game Friday night. Buy your tickets in advance on GoFan. I'll have a link on the football website, and you go on there and just click. But you don't want to get in line and not have it. Give stuff out. It could be a problem if you're technologically challenged, I guess you might say.
Like me.
Get your son or your daughter to figure it out if you're not.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll see you down at Murray High School Friday night, 7 p.m. kickoff. it.